everybody, and welcome back to the Triple J Ranch vlog. My name is Jordan Jensen, and this is my wife.
Hi, I'm Julia.
And today we're going to be talking about feed that we give our chickens and our ducks.
And if you're new, just joining us, just as a recap, right now we have 1 rooster, 11 hens, and 4 ducklings, and a dog. So the main purpose of having the hens and the rooster, and the ducklings is we're looking to have lots of eggs, of course, the obvious reason. With the rooster, we're also hoping to produce chicks and to be able to breed those for selling and for giving away friends and family. And then also eventually at the end of the chicken's lifespan to be able to have some meat to eat as well for that fried chicken. So as a result of having all these different birds, we are always on the lookout for good resources for feeding, which is what we're going to be talking about today, for food that's cost effective with as many birds as we have, and then also something that's going to be suitable for both the ducklings and the hens and the rooster in all their different life stages.
And one of the things we came across from an article from Homesteading was this idea of fermenting your food, which one benefit already from that is making the food more filling for the birds. So you get the benefit of them feeling full when they're eating, but also you're getting them the benefit of giving them probiotics, providing good gut health, which will lead to a couple things. Having a good immune system, which is great. We don't want the chickens to get sick. The other benefit being that if they have a good gut health, they'll be absorbing nutrients better. And so when we give them a nice mixed feed of the things that they need and then fermented grains, they're getting everything they need to give us more eggs, but then also just generally be healthier chickens. So along with that, we wanted to talk a little bit about where our journey with that today. In the article itself, the feed that they recommended was something called Scratch and Peck. And I remember us ordering that, and oh man, that was expensive.
A big old bag, but
oh yeah, but it's the ratio for cost is just really high with that. So what we did was that doesn't give you everything you need to feed growing chickens, and so we do buy Do More, which has its proteins and just the different things that chickens and ducks need, but also we decided to go with a cheaper brand called Producer's Pride that has scratch grains in it, but we just go ahead and ferment that to give to them and get all that benefits that I just mentioned.
And these foods also, they're for all fowl, and so they're like all poultry bird food. So it's not just like duck food versus chicken food. It's something we can feed all of them. Really helpful.
Yeah, that's a good point. And so when we switch from Scratch and Peck to this Producer's Pride, we got more with the scratch grains, and then we also saved a ton of money. So the Scratch and Peck bag, I mean, it was like $60, $70, for a 40-pound bag, where the Scratch and Peck we were able to buy from Tractor and Supply, 50-pound bag for just short of $20, which is a huge difference in the price tag.
And they are big bags, but when you have as many birds as we do, it goes by pretty fast. So it adds up quickly. Oh yeah,
for sure. I did run this past a couple other farmers that have chickens too, including Perch and Pasture also,
which we mentioned in our last video.
Yeah, and they said that you should be able to do that just fine. And so we wanted to go through our system and how we ferment the food, and then also go through how we mix the foods together for the chickens each day. So having said that, I think we're going to cut away and show you those systems.
Yeah, we'll walk you through.
Okay, so let's talk about fermenting the food. Our system is right here on the side of the wall. We marked day 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can feed number 3 if we want, but 4 is the one we want to use first. And so we give them one a bottle of fermented food a day. And so how do we go about fermenting the food? Well, I already gave them their food for the day in this one and went ahead and cleaned it out and everything. So everything shifts over one slot for the next day. And then once we get this ready for fermenting, we'll set this right here with that. So let's get a scoop of food from over here of our grains in there. Now, I wouldn't go more than maybe half in the jar, because as it starts to ferment, it's going to expand and take up more space. So I'm just going to leave it with that. Then we're going to head over to get water in the mix with everything. The reason we do Berkey water, in the article that we mentioned, it talked about letting water from the faucet sit for several days, and let the chlorine evaporate out of it and a few other things. With the Berkey filter, we have all of that already filtered out. So it's just a product that just gives you the purest water you possibly can, short of spring water. We mix all that in just to make the make sure the water gets everywhere. As far as the covering, so we don't want to put like a sealant on it, because we need oxygen to be able to get in for the water and the grains to ferment. What I've found so far that works best is just taking a what's this called? A paper towel, and sitting it on top like this, and then taking the mason jar's top and just screwing it in on top. Now,
and we had used cheesecloth, right?
Yeah,
the
cheesecloth didn't work well, because it does a lot of oxygen in, which is good, but it doesn't hold. It's too loose, where like we started getting kind of a gnat problem. They were getting in there, and it's fine if they get in there, but we don't want gnats in the house. This seems to do really well with keeping gnats out of the house, and oxygen still getting in with that. So when we're looking at this, by day one, you're going to see all of this expand to the top of the jar. And as we're
you want to show them one of the older ones, and I can see. Yeah.
And just as we move day to day, this is the one that we made the other day. See, already it's expanding up, and the water is taking up less space. And if we look at our day 3 one, you notice even further, it's taking up even more space. It has water on the top because I filled it recently. So you want to just make sure that there's enough water for it to continue to expand however much it's going to expand going through the days. Then on our last one, the one we're going to give them tomorrow, there's still enough water where I don't have to refill that one. But when you refill it with water, you want to mix it up again.
And this was a trial and error as far as figuring out how much food to put in there for it to expand.
Believe me, we're still trying to fine tune it.
We had many overflows.
Alrighty guys, well this is how we put the feed together. What you'll need is a filter of some sort, and then you'll also need just a scoop of the Do More feed for the chickens and the ducks. And then here is our fermented food itself. Typically we'll let it ferment for 3 to 4 days, and this one's been just over 3 days now. So the first thing that we do is we're going to pour some of this feed to cover up the bottom of each tray. So it doesn't need to be a lot, just enough to cover the bottom. We're then going to take our fermented feed, bring that open. Okay, it smells like it's been fermenting, and it has a little light layer on top. That's perfectly fine. We're going to pour out. You don't have to get every little bit. So, and then I just swish it around and just try to get as much of the liquid out of there as possible. You're not going to get it all, so normally I'll do this for about 10 rotations or so, and just let some of that just extra water in there get out. So I'll just bring the food over here. So just grab a tray, put about half of it on there. It's pretty good right there. And then the rest of it right on there. Then I just set it over to the side here, and then I'm going to clean it out afterwards. And then with the rest of the duck and chicken feed, this is where all the protein and nutrient stuff comes from. We just spread it on top right there, and spread it on top right there. So now, as far as giving them the food, so we have 2 batches of chickens. We had one, the original batch, the oldest, they're the closest to start laying eggs. Dark Wings is one of them. But they're going to be laying eggs here in the next few weeks. We have set out the first tray for them.
I almost
right
fell in
there.
a hole.
And then the other one, we're going to walk down that way, and we're going to set the tray down there. The reason I have the division is because the big ones, the older ones, pick on the younger ones. The younger ones are about 2 months younger than the first batch. And so the older ones are going to be like pecking them to get away from their food. So we'll just set it on 2 ends just so everybody has a chance to eat.
All right, so we hope that was helpful for you and educational. As always, we would love to hear from you, so please comment below just what you would like to see in our videos. And then also, if you have tried fermented food before, let us know what you think. Or if you have chickens, we would love to hear what brands and what systems you use for feeding. So also that article, we will post a link to that in our caption below so you can go and check them out. Thanks so much for joining, guys.
Thank you for coming by, everybody. Bye.
Bye.